Just making sure that recording is working. Great. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So welcome to today's class. This is the mindful movement class. The equipment that you're going to need today is the same that we've been using. We've got a ball-shaped object of some sort, preferably with an even number of numbers and letters on it, even and odd, and vowels and consonants. If you don't have a ball, you could use a dog toy, you could use a rolled up pair of socks, or you could use a rag, just something that is easy to hold on to. And then 2 pencils, 2 cooking utensils, again, whatever is easy for you to hold on to. Yes, and then just a couple more things. We've got, for those of you who are in California, the fires are still going. So if the smoke is affecting your lungs and you find that in the middle of class it's a little bit too much, please take care of yourself, slow down, drink some water if you need, listen to your body. But at least where I am, the smoke is starting to clear, so hopefully it is for all of you as well. And then, as always, make sure you've got a nice big arms distance around you so you don't knock anything over. Just a word of precaution too, that when we get into some of our vestibular work today, to move slowly and start with a small range of motion, whatever it is we're doing with your head, your neck, or your eyes. And if you start to get dizzy, back off, slow down. You can close your eyes, which also helps. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Remember, it's okay to get dizzy, but we don't want to go too far past that edge. Alrighty. So let's get going here. Okay. Move this down a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and find a seated position, grounding yourself out. So making sure you've got your feet either on the floor or on the base of your chair. We'll close the eyes if that feels right. And we'll just start by dropping into the body. Noticing where your breath is today. And I want you to take both of your hands and put them on your low back. And I want you to try to breathe into your hands. So just like the low belly, when we put our hand on our low belly, I want you to feel your low back expand with your inhale and then shrink with your exhale. And maybe noticing if there's a difference between the two sides, or if it's hard for you to feel your breath down here at all, that's also just good to note. But it's helpful to use our hands to direct our breath into certain places. Okay, good. We can bring the hands back to your lap. I want you to release any extra tension you might be holding in your body, whether that's your hips, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. Go ahead and set your intention for class today. Good. We'll open your eyes on the next exhale. And we'll just start with some body tapping. So we're going to start with tapping that area just under the collarbones. Staying with your breath. Noticing how everything's feeling in here. Okay, and relax. And then I'm going to have you take your hands, and you can use your knuckles if it's hard to open your hands, or your open hands, and you're going to bring them behind your neck, okay? And if you're able to, I want you to open your elbows and open your chest up towards the sky. Hands stay behind the neck. And then I want you to touch your elbows together, dive your head forward and down, and round your upper spine. We're not rolling down, we're just trying to get small like a ball. Mm-hmm. Inhale, open your elbows away from each other, open your chest. Exhale, close your elbows, round your spine. Inhale, open the elbows, open the chest. And exhale, close. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, open. Start to bring your eyes with you, looking up at the ceiling. And then exhale, close, looking down at your chest. Last one. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Good. Okay, come to a seated tall position. And then I want you to rub your hands. So you're going to glide your hands from the back of your neck all the way down to the front of your neck until your hands reach your collarbones. Your neck looks up at the ceiling. Grab the back of your neck, look down. As you glide and rub your hands down towards your collarbone, shift your head so it looks up at the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Okay, when I say yes. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm getting a couple people that are saying it's hard to hear me. So maybe just, Nancy, make sure your volume is turned up all the way. I've got all of my windows shut, so I don't think there should be any sound barriers. Yeah, but I'll talk a little bit louder, Nancy, and let me know if that helps. You can hear me. Okay, great, okay. Okay, good. Let's just do a few more of those neck rubs. So hands to the back of the neck, looking down, and then gliding down as you look up. And last one, hands to the back of the neck, look down, glide the hands down as you look up. Okay, now keep your hands there, tractioning the skin down. And then I want you to tilt your head to the right. Tilt your head to the left. Tilt right. And then tilt left. Good, go ahead and release. We'll shake the arms and the hands out. Okay. And we're just going to do a few shoulder circle rolls. So inhale to shrug up, and then exhale down. We're going to do, I was talking about last week, so I want you to keep going with the circles. I'm just going to talk you through with this next one. We're going to do an upper trap release. There's a common misconception in the movement world and the stretching world and all of that, where a tight muscle is a strong muscle. 99% of the time, a tight muscle is a shortened muscle, is a weak muscle. So working the muscles in their full range of motion, even if it feels counterintuitive to shrug your shoulders up, right, when so many of us might have that as a constant state, it can actually help release the muscle if we contract it fully and then we release it. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you shrug your left shoulder up. I want you to tilt your head to the left, and then I want you to look into the upper right-hand corner of the room. This should feel kind of awkward and uncomfortable. Good, and then I want you to move in the opposite direction. Unshrug your shoulder and look down at your left armpit. Really actively unshrug that shoulder, and you're tilting your head to the right. And again, shrug the left shoulder up, tilt your head to the left, look up to the right, shrug your shoulder down, tilt your head to the right, look down and to the left. Yeah, and release. Okay, and I just want you to see if you notice a difference between the two shoulders. Does one maybe feel, hopefully that one we worked feels a little different. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Shrug right shoulder up, tilt your head to the right, look up and to the left, move slowly here, listen to your body, hold it, hold it, hold it. Unshrug the shoulder, tilt your head to the left, look down and to the right. Shrug the right shoulder up, tilt your head to the right, look up and to the left. Hold it, keep that activated. Unshrug the shoulder, tilt your head to the left, look down and to the right. Actively pulling that shoulder blade down. Yeah, okay. Shake the shoulders out a little bit, and again, just notice if there's a difference in your neck and in your upper traps. Okay, that's a good one to do at home, especially if you find you're on the computer all day. Let's find our body tapping, so whichever side you'd like to start on. Going down the inside of the arm and up the outside of the arm. And I'm going to invite you today, like I did last week, to use a different kind of sensory input. So if you normally tap, maybe you're stroking, or maybe you're grabbing your skin and your tissue. So just do something different than you normally do. Down the inside and up the outside. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Down the inside all the way out to the hand. And up the outside. I'm doing a rub for myself today. I'm just noticing how that's different, maybe building up a little bit of friction with my skin. And then up the outside. I'm going to rub my chest. I'm going to rub my belly in a clockwise direction. I'm going to give my back a rub, just a little circular rub with both hands. I'm going to give the side of my ribs a rub. You might have some tender spots in here. I certainly do. And then working our way down the outside of the legs. And then up the inside of the legs. And as always, I always forget to say this, if it is safe and accessible to you, feel free to slip your socks and your shoes off so you can ground your feet out more. You've got a little bit more access to your feet. We'll do this 3 times, down the outside, up the inside. Good. And then we'll come down to the feet. So if you have access to your feet, I'm going to have you find toe weaving. We've been doing this the past couple times. So you're putting your fingers in between your toes, like this. If you're able to get your leg up on into a figure 4, a cross-legged position, it might be easier for you to access your feet. Yeah, and for my athletes that are on the floor, you can also do something like this where you've got one leg on top of the other. For those of you who maybe don't have access to your feet, I just want you to give your lower leg a little bit of a rub, going from your ankle up to your knee. And if the lower leg is hard for you to access, I want you to give your knee to your thigh a rub. Okay, so whatever is easy for you to touch there. The reason we work up towards the center of the body is to get some of that stagnant fluid, whether it's lymph or blood, or the fluid in your connective tissue, to go back up towards your heart so we can recycle some of that fluid. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So whether you're toe weaving or you're finding that lower leg or upper leg rub, working your way. If you find a tender spot, you can sink into it. Okay, and then all the way back up. Great. Okay. A little bit of quick love to the hands. So give those hands a rub. And I want you to maybe go faster than you normally do. So really build up some friction with those hands. Build up some heat with those hands. Good. And then we'll get the backs of the hands. The other backs of the hands. Okay, good. If you can interlace your fingers together, and push your palms away from me. Otherwise, you're just going to give me the stop sign position. Yeah. So either one. And then release the hands, give them a shake. Give the wrists a shake. And we're just gonna do this a few times. Interlace, push towards me, or give me the stop sign, really actively pulling the fingers back towards you. And then give everything a shake. Yep, and last one, push the palms towards me or stop sign hands. And then give everything a shake. Okay, great. We'll do just a little bit more spinal mobility here, and then we'll come into some of the visual work. So let's go hand to opposite leg, doesn't matter which side you're starting on. Find a rotation. I'm rotating to my right. And then hand to opposite leg, switch sides. You can keep that other hand reaching behind you. Try to keep your eyes on your thumb as you switch. So looking at the thumb, seeing how far back your eyes can go. And switch, rotate, eyes on the thumb. Switch and rotate. And last one, switch and rotate. Good, and coming back to the center. We'll bring right arm up into the sky. Let's take a side bend up and over. And then I want that hand to rest on your head. So my hand is resting on my ear. I'm gonna keep side bending, and then I'm gonna start to rotate down and around and back to the start. Okay, so right arm comes up. I come into a side bend. I let my right hand kind of collapse onto the ear. I start to round and roll my spine down towards the ground, back towards the center of my body, and then I articulate up again, reaching the arm up, side bend, collapse the hand over the ear, roll down towards the ground, back to the center, roll yourself up. Last one, hand up, side bend, hand to ear, down and around, and back to the center. Yeah, really nice. Let's bring the other arm up towards the sky. So you'll find that as you're doing this one, you're hopefully getting a really nice side stretch through your torso. Okay, so left hand up, side bend, bring that hand down towards the opposite ear. And I want you to think of reaching through your elbows. So your elbows actively reaching away from you as you roll down and around and back to the center to come upright. Hand up, side bend, hand to ear, rolling down and around, back to the center, articulate up. Yep. Hand up, side bend, hand to ear, roll down and around and center. Last one, reach up. I want you to inhale and then exhale to circle down and around and back to the center. Good, and we'll bring that arm down. Awesome. Okay, let's find just a few of our test and retest movements here. So I'm going to start with an overhead arm raise. Hopefully things are feeling already a little bit warmed up. For those of you just joining, remember when we do these body check-ins, I'm noticing my range of movement. I'm noticing if one side is different than the other side, my ease of movement, my speed of movement. Yeah. Hands can come down. We'll find cervical rotation, just rotating the head to the right and just rotating the head to the left. And just noticing how that's feeling for you today. Good. Hands come together out in front of you, straight arms. Remember, if this is hard for you, you can also cross the arms over the chest, rotating to your right with your spine now, and rotating to the left with your spine. Rotating right, and rotating left. Just do that one more time each side. I'm gonna shed a layer here. Okay, coming back to the center. Let's see, what am I missing? For my standing athletes, you could test your sit to stand, You could test your single leg balance. You can even test your hip hinges. Okay, so whatever makes sense for you. Okay, I'm gonna have you grab your letter ball of some sort, or your sock or your dog toy, whatever it is that you're using. If you've been with me for a while and you know what you're doing here with the letter ball, I want you to go right into playing letter ball with yourself. If you're new, I'm just going to walk you through this. So holding that ball into your chest, or that object in your chest, you're going to bring it away from you. It doesn't matter where you bring it away from you. Your head and your eyes look at the ball. You say the letter or the number out loud. You bring it back into your chest. Pull it away into a new spot. D, pull it back in. Bring it out to a new spot. 2, bring it back in. And you're just going to continue with that, pulling it away from you and in towards you as your eyes, your head, your neck, and your body pinpoint a really specific point on that ball. So if you don't have letters and numbers, no worries. Just look at a certain point on that ball each time you pull it away from you. If you are able to, you can start to play catch with yourself more. You can also throw it off of a wall. You can play with a partner. And I want you to stop that ball right where you catch it, read it, and then go again. Okay, so you're just going to continue to play with yourself. We're warming up your spine, and more importantly, we're warming up your eyes here. Okay, I'm going to throw on a layer of brain speed. Yeah, so for those of you that do have letters and numbers on your ball, if you see a letter, I want you to go 3 letters past that letter and then say that letter. So if I catch an A, B, C, D, I would say D, okay? So 3 letters past the letter. If it's a number, I want you to subtract 3, okay? So 3 letters past, 3 letters subtract, okay? So keep going. So it's causing you to use your brain a little bit more. If that slows you down, that's totally fine. That's what I would expect. So this has more to do with your brain being able to see something, make a decision, and then quickly act. And we're going to add one more layer, but I'm just going to give you a few more catches here. It's okay if you go into negative numbers, by the way. Okay, now, let's see. I'm just going to add one more layer. Don't worry, I won't go too wild today. When you catch it, you're still going to do 3 letters later, 3 numbers earlier. Let's just make this easy. When you catch a letter, let's go, the left side of your body is going to lift in some way. That could be your elbow, that could be your leg, or it could be an arm. Okay, so whatever you have access to. When you do a number, you're going to lift the right side of your body, and whatever that looks like, okay? Do the body movement before you do the subtraction or the addition of the letters and the numbers. Okay, go for it. Just maybe do 10 or 20, or 20 more throws here. It's okay if this one really, this one really slows you down. You're just trying to make that decision, that split-second decision, as quick as you can. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch people here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That looks great. Try 3 or 4 more throws. Great. And then go ahead and relax. We'll come back to the center. You can set that ball down for now. And let's just do one body check in here. So I'm just going to have you do, we'll start with an overhead arm raise, noticing if that changed for you for better, for worse, or for the same. It's fun to watch some of you because I notice if I can't notice your range of motion because of the little tiny tiles on my screen, I at least see some of you do it much quicker, so it's interesting to watch. All right, I want you to turn circle rotation, so turning your head to the left and to the right. Thoracic rotation, so arms out in front of you, moving from your spine. Noticing a change there. Oh, the shoulder internal external rotation. That was the one I forgot. I knew I was forgetting one. We didn't do this one before, but let's just do this one for fun. So goalpost arms, pivoting the hands up and then down. Okay. For my standing athletes, you're doing sit to stands, you're doing a single leg balance, maybe you're doing a hip hinge, whatever works for you. Okay. I am going to have you take your pencil. You just need one for right now. We're going to return to some pencil push-ups. We haven't done these in a while, so I'm just going to give you a little reminder. So holding the tip of the pencil right in between, at arm's distance in front of you, right between your eyes. For those of you that are blind or visually impaired, I'm going to give you a different one. Just bear with me for a sec. So tip of the pencil right between your eyes. Maybe one thing here, if you're wearing glasses, if you're able to take the glasses off and you can still clearly see the tip of the pencil, go ahead and slip the glasses off for this one. You don't have to do it. It's not a big deal. Like, for example, I'm wearing contacts and I'm obviously going to leave my contacts in, so not a big deal. So holding that tip of the pencil, remember these are called pencil push-ups. You're going to bring that pencil in towards your eyes. You're going to stop when you start to see two pencils, and then you're going to pull it away from you slowly. You're going to pull it in towards you until you start to see two pencils, and then you're going to pull it away from you. Okay, so I want you to continue doing that. If you don't see two pencils at any point, and if you're able to bring that pencil all the way into your nose, then that's awesome. That means that your eyes are what we call converging, meaning they're able to come together as an object comes towards you. They're able to converge. So you're still benefiting from this exercise. I still want you to do it. For those of you that are blind or visually impaired, I want you holding that pencil. It can be right in front of you. And then you're just going to start to move your body with the pencil. So your eyes, your head, your neck, and your body stay with the pencil as it circles around you. That's only if you're blind or visually impaired. So don't do that one if you can do the pencil push-ups. I'd rather you do the pencil push-ups. Yeah. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I see. Yep, that's good. Okay, maybe do 3 or 4 more of these ones. If you're getting dizzy or nauseous, back off, take a break. Yeah. And then go ahead and relax. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to stay kind of close to the screen here. I want you to grab your other pencil. We're just going to do one more visual one, and then I'm going to bring more movement into this. Okay, so holding both pencils, and remember, if you don't have pencils, you can also use your thumbs, so you don't have to have pencils. Holding both pencils out in front of you, they're going to be together touching. Again, for folks who are blind or visually impaired, I'm going to give you a slightly different one, but I want you jumping with just your eyes from one tip of the pencil to the other tip of the pencil. So you're quickly going back and forth with just your eyes of looking at one pencil and then the other pencil. And then you're going to start to pull those pencils away from each other, out to the sides. so that your eyes are having to jump a little bit further. We call these saccades. So this is also really good for the visual system, for your eye range of motion. And I just want you to jump the eyes back and forth. You bring so your head isn't moving. The eyes are as far apart from each other where your head does not have to move. You're jumping the eyes back and forth. Make sure you can focus on each pencil before jumping to the other one. Okay. For folks that are blind or visually impaired, you're going to be holding those two pencils, but you're going to be rotating, and your head and your neck, so everything is facing forward. Open right arm out to a rotation. Eyes and head and neck follow that right hand. And then you come back to the center. And then you would do the same thing with the left side. So you're just doing a rotation, but I want your eyes and your head and your neck to follow that back hand that's rotating away from you. That one is only for folks who are blind or visually impaired. Otherwise, you're still doing the saccades back and forth. For people that are doing the saccades, I want you now to bring one pencil up and one pencil down. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, thank you for the reminder, Bonnie. You can start with the pencils close to each other, jumping back and forth, and then you'll slowly move those pencils away from each other, only as far away as you can, where you can still focus on the pencil. And just as a side note, for some of you, I know it's hard for you to hold your hands overhead. Don't worry about doing that. Set your hands down and find something on the wall, on the ceiling above you, and on the floor below you. And I want you to be jumping your eyes back and forth from there. Yeah, so you don't have to worry, because I know some of you, it's really hard to get your arms up. So just use something to pinpoint your eyes on the ceiling and on the floor, and you're just jumping back and forth between the two. That should be easier. Okay, maybe just do 3 or 4 more jumps, or maybe a rotation if you're doing that progression. And then we can set the pencils down. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break here, because I know that was a lot for the eyes. So we're going to cross the arms over the chest. You're going to nod your chin to your chest and just take a roll all the way down to the ground. You can grab your elbows here. Just pause, breathe into the back of your ribs. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Yeah, I'm grabbing my elbows now. It's a little bit more comfortable for me. One more like that. Chin to chest, chest to ribs as you roll down. Breathing into your tailbone. And then slowly rolling yourself back up. Good. Okay, I want to do just a few more neck movements here. So we have been doing the side bends and the rotations with just your neck. So I want you to do, I'm going to come closer in so people can see me a little bit better. I want you to do just a side, this is basically, you know how we do rib translations, where you're just gliding your ribs right and gliding your ribs left. Yeah, exactly, Bonnie. Yeah, this is a good dance move for you. Okay, so you're just gliding your head to the right and to the left. If any of you take any of the dance classes, don't judge me if I'm not doing this very well. Okay, so just that is gliding. So your head is staying parallel as a head can stay, with the floor. This is a really small movement. In fact, it is a hard movement to do when you're talking. So you're just gliding the head right, gliding the head left. Yeah, and maybe noticing if one of those directions is harder for you. Okay, yeah, we're just trying to release some tension in the head and the neck today. Go ahead and relax. And then I want you to become a pigeon. So gliding the head forward, so jutting your chin out, and then tucking your chin in and giving yourself a double chin. Really give yourself a double chin. Don't worry, nobody's looking, it's totally fine. Jut the chin out, tuck the chin in. Jut out, tuck in. Jut out, tuck in. So you start to emulate the way a pigeon's head would move, how it glides quickly forward and back. And again, just noticing how the neck is feeling with these kinds of movements. Is that sticky for you in one direction? Does it feel good for you in one direction? Okay, and relax. So we're going to bring that neck movement now into the spine, along with the spine, I should say. So I'm going to have you glide your head to the right and then shift your ribs to the right. So everything is leaning to the right, and then pull everything back to the center. Neck shifts left, ribs shift left, and back to the center. Neck right, ribs right, center, neck left, ooh, ribs left, and center. Neck, ribs, neck, ribs. And then can we start to make it a bit more flowy, where you go right from one shift into the next. Yeah, and be careful that your chin isn't sticking out. So I want your chin to be in. It's just a shift of the head and the neck. And then come back to the center. Yeah, that looks cool on the screens. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing forward back. So I want you to jut the chin forward and then lean forward, tuck the chin in, and then lean back. And if you don't have a chair back behind you, you can even tip back a little bit more. Jut the head forward, lean forward, tuck the chin in, lean back. Jut the chin out, lean forward, tuck the chin in, lean back. Chin out, lean forward, chin in, lean back. Do one more. Chin out, forward, chin in, and back. Yeah, really nice. Okay, come back to a seated position. I'm going to throw a little bit of coordination at you here. So we're just going to start with play with the tapping that we've been doing. So we're going to do tapping both of your thighs and then cross your chest. Tap the thighs, switch the cross. And I just want you to do that back and forth. Tap, cross, tap, switch the cross. Okay, just getting that rhythm in your head. Okay, in between each one, so we're gonna tap the thighs, cross, tap the thighs, switch the cross, tap the thighs, tap the head, tap the thighs. So we're just only throwing a head in there. Tap the thighs, head, tap the thighs, cross, thighs, switch cross, thighs, head. And shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And I want you to keep going through that one. Okay. I'm going to layer on. Can you sing the alphabet? We're going forward to back. Alphabet forward to back as you're doing this.
I.
You can sing it to yourself.
I.
Oh, hi, Joseph. Hey, I'm going to mute you just because we're in the middle of class here. Yeah, but feel free to join in with, we're just doing patterning work here, and we're doing the alphabet forward to back. Okay, if you've done that alphabet, you've gotten all the way to Z. I want you to go backwards. I'm not even going to say this one aloud because I'm embarrassed at how slow I'll go. Okay, so backwards from Z to A. I'll just give you maybe a minute or so to do this. I'm not going to talk so I can focus. Yeah, so Joseph, if you're just joining, the pattern is thighs, cross, thighs, switch the cross, and then thighs, head. Yeah, that's the pattern. Yeah. Okay. It's totally fine if this is harder for you now. I'll give you maybe another 30 seconds here to try to get to A. Yep. And then go ahead and relax. Okay, awesome. Good work, everybody. Okay. We'll cross the arms over the chest now. Yeah, we're just gonna do some spinning. So last week I had you quickly rotating, so your head and your neck and your eyes are coming with you, quickly rotating from side to side. So you're not going for a deep rotation, you're going for quickness here, okay? Maybe before you start doing that, I'm just gonna give my other people a couple options. If you're a standing athlete or if you're in a chair, remember you could also just bring that into a spin. Just a reminder here to only do if you get dizzy easily, to only do a few in each direction, no matter which one you're doing, pause and then continue. Okay, so when you're ready, go for it. You may want to start slow with this one and with a small range of motion, maybe pausing every 10 or so to assess if you're dizzy and taking a break. Yeah, Bonnie, like that, that's good. And noticing for the people that are spinning, if one direction is harder for you, do you get dizzier, easier going in one direction? For my people that are rotating, it's going to be a little bit harder to tell, but if you're able to tell, then that's fine. Yeah, just maybe 10 or so more seconds, bringing your head and your spine with you. Okay. Yeah, good. I feel like people's endurance for this vestibular work has gotten better. Because I remember in the beginning, everybody was pausing and resting more. And I feel like people are able to go a little bit longer now. So go ahead and relax. If you find that any of this work we do with the spinning and the twisting for vestibular work is too easy, feel free to go faster or to go with a bigger range of motion. So whichever one of these we're doing, whether we're circling, we're spinning, or we're rotating. Okay, so you can always make that a little bit harder. Okay, so let's spread the fingers. We'll bring the arms up overhead. Try to touch your palms together if you can. And then we'll take a dive coming forward. All the way down to the ground. Inhale at the bottom. And exhale, roll up. Bring the arms behind you. You can interlace the fingers if you're able to. Lift the chest up towards the sky. Keep your hands back there. Side bend to the right. And then side bend to the left. Side bend right. And side bend left. Good. Come back to the center. Bring the hands all the way back up overhead, palms together if you're able to. I want you to dive slightly off to your right now. So just dive over that right knee. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, roll up. Bring the arms behind you. You can interlace the fingers again. I'm going to have you rotate to the right and rotate to the left. You might notice this feels different with the arms behind the back. You might even notice it's harder to breathe. So think about dropping that breath down into your belly as you rotate right and left. Just moving at your own pace here. Go ahead and come back to the center. Last time, arms come overhead, palms together if you can. Now diving just over your left knee. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale, roll yourself back up. Good, we'll bring the hands back down towards the lap. Make sure you find your feet under you again if you've shifted around. We'll close the eyes. Dropping into the breath, inviting that breath to go all the way down into your tailbone. And then noticing if and what in your body has changed since the beginning of class. Just noticing the overall tension in your body. I want you to think of one thing you're grateful for today. Take one more inhale. One more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Cool. Thank you so much for joining today, everybody. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I'll unmute everyone. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, great. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Great.
Good. I actually do have a question.
Yes.
Because I don't know much about this work and why it works. Like,
yeah,
I'm
sorry.
noticing in the rechecks that like I get stuff like.
Oh, Bonnie, I'm sorry. I was looking around the screen trying to figure out who was talking. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
Yes, that's okay. I'm just curious. Like, I'm noticing a difference when we do the recheck, especially today when we did the one in the middle. And I noticed it's doing something, but I want to understand what this work is about. Just a little overview of what it's doing to the brain.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I actually strongly encourage people, and this is just kind of a plug because I'm going to be doing a lecture actually on that exact question. Saturday, September, let me look at my calendar. September 26th at 11 a.m. It's through NorCal SCI. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. It's through NorCal SCI. I can send people, I don't know how to do that because we actually don't have the link ready yet. Maybe next week when I'm ready, I can send people the link because it talks about all of this visual and vestibular work we're doing and why it's working. But I'm going to answer your question. But yeah, for folks that are interested, that's going to be a good lecture series. So how it works is the brain has, in a very, very simplified way, the brain has three main jobs. It receives sensory input from either the outside world or from our body. It makes a decision based off of that input. Are we safe? Do I need to adjust my body accordingly? Okay, I'm picking up this water bottle. How heavy is it? So it makes a decision, and then it creates a motor output, which is a movement of the body. Based on how that brain works, our sensory systems work in a hierarchical system. So it goes visual input always takes precedent, vestibular system is second, and proprioception is third. So I think of the visual system as like the CEO, the president of the company. That person is going to always call the shots and whatever they say goes. The vestibular system is the VP and the proprioception is lower than that. So when the movement world in general is focusing on the proprioception, we're focusing on the musculoskeletal system and stretching and lifting weight in order to create better movement for our body. The work that we're doing in this class focuses more on the first two, the president and the vice president of the company, on the visual and the vestibular system, to create a higher quality of sensory input going into the brain so that our quality of movement is more efficient, it's faster, it's stronger, it's better, it's whatever we're trying to do. So when we basically are able to warm up our eyes, and there's also a lot goes into that. Remember, we have 6 muscles around our eyes. So often, a lot of times, just doing some of that stuff and working those muscles is helpful of, oh, my eyes go up. Oh, my spine goes up. And everything else follows. Oh, my whole body can come into extension now that my eyes have been moving up towards the top of my body. So there's also this component of, because we're such a forward flex society, our eyes stay like this in our heads all day. Rarely ever do we keep our heads steady and we move our eyes all the way around us. So it's uncomfortable for our eyes to move all the way around us. The hunter-gatherers back in the day used to use their eyes effectively. They would freeze, they would notice an animal all the way to their left, but they couldn't move their head or they would scare the animal away. So it's something that we as a species have kind of lost. I mean, we've lost a lot of things in this day and age, but the ability to move our eyes in all the directions is also a part of that. So when we can get our eyes moving all around and sharpen our eyes into objects coming at us, objects moving around us, overall it's improving that sensory input going into the brain, which helps us create a more efficient motor output. Yeah. So that's kind of, sorry, that's kind of like the quick and dirty of it. Yeah. But I hope that's helpful. Yeah. And where I get a lot of this work from is called Z Health. It was a company started by Dr. Cobb, C-O-B-B, and Z Health is literally just the letter Z and then health. They have one of the most extensive video platforms of any website I've seen, and you can Google into that website pencil push-ups, VOR, all of this stuff we do, and he also gives these really great video tutorials. So that's a great website to check out. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Good.
Rachel,
Bonnie,
this
good question.
is Laurie. That was fantastic. I appreciate the resources. I will definitely go check them out. A follow-up to that, how does this work, with the visual being the CEO for a blind person and the adaptations that we make?
Yeah. So, Lori, that's a great question. So your vestibular system, remember how I was saying visual is president,
Right.
vestibular is vice president. So when I'm giving folks who can see visual work, I'm always giving you vestibular work where your whole body and your head is moving around and you're having to, are you standing when you're doing this class?
No, it's needed.
Okay. Have you ever tried some of this work standing? Would it be safe for you to try that?
A little bit when I'm doing it during the week. Some of the stretches and stuff I find easier to do standing, but yeah, that would be interesting to do more of the vestibular work standing than I have done.
Yeah. And Lori, if standing feels a little scary for you, try coming down to the ground and maybe even being in a kneeling position where your knees are on the ground. If this is comfortable for you.
Can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can't.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So forget that. Lori, one other option for you if you want to feel safer, making your sitting surface slightly less stable. So that can look like, sorry, you know what? I'm going to hang on. I'm getting some background noise. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. And then Lori, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, Lori, I'm trying to unmute you, but it's not working. You might have to unmute yourself. Okay, I'll let you try to unmute yourself. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So doing something in a seated position, but perhaps you're doing it on a seated position that is a little less stable. So maybe you're doing it on a stool, or maybe you're doing it on, if you have a wobbly kind of a surface, like there's these things called dynadiscs, or just a smaller surface for your butt where you're having to stabilize your core, and everything is having to work harder to stabilize you while you're doing all of this vestibular work. Anyway,
I have an exercise ball, so maybe that's an interest.
That's perfect. Yeah. So Lori, do some of these on the exercise ball, because you'll notice that when I'm giving everyone else a visual exercise, I'm giving you the vestibular exercise, because that's your president of your system. That's what's giving your brain the most sensory input. And that's the system for you that you really want to be strengthening. But yeah, right. Okay. To challenge yourself more, bring yourself onto that physio ball so that your system, because remember, for all of this work, and this goes for everybody, if you're not finding your edge, if you're not pushing yourself just to that very edge of challenging yourself enough, none of this is going to work. I mean, to be honest, that probably goes for everything in life. You always have to be finding your edge. So Lori, same for you. Yeah, try doing this on a ball next week. And if you're a little scared to do that, you can bring yourself into a door frame, or you can have 2 chairs on either side of you if you're feeling nervous about that. But yeah, just something different to try.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. This is really good. Yeah, I'll try a little bit during the week and see how it goes, and maybe do part of the class. on the ball and part on my nice stable chair. But no, that's really great, and I'm excited to hear that you're going to do a whole lecture on the work and also for the website and stuff. So thank you so much. I'm glad that Bonnie asked the question.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Bonnie, great question. Yeah, it's hard to explain all of that in a 45-minute class, so I kind of bank on these questions to clear the air and explain some of that more. So
Thank you, Rachel.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, of
Bye.
Thank
course.
you so much. Have a great week.
Okay, you too. See everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. See you. Bye, Claudia. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I think we're good. Cool. Thanks, Sarah Dawn.